This could be the beginning of the real estate residential market crashing. I have a report that just came out from Zillow giving some really interesting numbers. This is going to be a short video, so just stick around and listen up because we are actually going through a transition right now. And if you're not in shopping mode for a home, then you may not be seeing it and feeling it. So let me just fill you in a little bit what's happening. So Zillow just announced that in the month of June 2024, almost 25%, 1/4 of all homes on the market slashed their prices. Price decreases. Now, when a price decrease happens, what usually starts happening is there's a trickle effect where your neighbor who's selling as well might need to really sell. So now they're going to say, uh-oh, I'm going to need to lower my price too. In fact, one of my clients right now is going through this transition in his neighborhood, and he's already slashed the price numerous times, and we go under contract. And then what happens next is in that moment of inspection, everyone else is starting to slash the prices in his neighborhood. Then he comes back on the market for whatever reason, and bam, he has no option but to lower the price to stay competitive. Well, apparently this is happening in 24.5% of all residential homes listed in the United States. Now, is this normal to have this many price reductions? The short answer is no. And we have to look at when was the last time that it was this bad, that we had this many price reductions. And the answer is June 2018. That is exactly 6 years ago that we had more price cuts than we do right now. And June 2018 was no hot time in the market, let me tell you that. Now, there are many reasons why people are slashing prices. Obviously, we have a big shift in market conditions, and there's been people out there, economists, that have been saying that we are in a majorly overinflated real estate market. And a part of me agrees. I agree that we are in an overly inflated real estate market, mostly because our ratio between your take-home income and your housing expense is completely out of whack. It's never been this bad, and this is not good for the general American people. It's okay for the really rich people, but you know what? Most people are not really rich. So what do we have to do to change? So it's not just the ratio that's really affecting it, but you have to look at the payment that you're making on your principal and interest, and then all the other costs like taxes and insurance and homeowners associations. Now, I can speak about Florida because this is where I am. I'm in Sarasota, Florida, and I am a real estate agent, so if you're thinking about buying a home, just reach out. All my contact info is below. But let me tell you something about insurance in Florida. It is the highest in the whole nation. There is no other state that has higher insurance than Florida. We're at averaging right around $6,000 a year, and I know there's some states at $5,000, but no one is at $6,000. We take the lead once again. Now, thankfully, our property taxes are not as high as some other states, and we have favorable income taxes, which means no income tax compared to many other states. That's a huge benefit of living in Florida. But overall, the prices are high, and it's not just here because the entire cost of ownership is so high right now everywhere in the United States. And it's not just ownership, it's everything. Everything is so expensive. You tell me right now, pause this video and you tell me what has gone down in price since June 2018. That's nothing. The answer is nothing. And yeah, the market conditions have changed quite a bit since then. We got into a really, really hot market because when the pandemic hit, our interest rates dropped to almost nothing. So people said, hey, it's really cheap to buy a house, and the cost of the mortgage is super low. So let's go do that. Let's go get a house. And they've done that. They did it. And now we're stuck with higher prices, and the interest rates went through the roof. So what is going to change the interest rates? I'll tell you something. It's going to be new policies. That's what. New policies are going to change it. And at the current administration level, there's no changes to policies. Now, I don't know if the next president, whether they be Republican, Independent, or Democratic, I don't know what they have in store for us. What I do know is that right now, until January 1st, 2025, it's not looking good. And speaking of not looking good, let's talk about condos and homeowner associations, not just in Florida, but in other states as well. it's once again not looking good. I think the rain is coming in here. I need to turn around here and get going back to my car. But let me tell you this. The association payments for condos in Florida has gone berserk. And you know this, if you've been watching any videos, condos are barely affordable for, you know, people who have a lot of money. And they're pretty much not affordable for anyone else. I have clients who are, you know, on a budget and they want to buy something where they have, you know, lower expenses when it comes to cost of maintenance of their property. And it seems like a condo might be the answer because your condo fee takes care of a lot of the maintenance that you're not going to have to worry about. But unfortunately, the tables have turned. Everything is flipped upside down. It is so expensive to have a condo and pay those fees because insurance rates for the common elements of the condominium is so high that it's hard to justify the expense. Condos overall are pretty nice because you get to have lots of amenities. But when the cost of the monthly association dues goes way through the roof, you know, right now in our area, it's hard to find any condo fees under $300 a month. And that used to be a pretty decent condo not too long ago, 5 years ago. Now you're probably looking at about $450 for the entry-level types of condos per month. That's on top of your taxes, insurance, your principal, your interest, your cable bill, your electric bill, all of that. But let's get back to our pricing conversation and our price reductions. You know, when they say that 24.5% of all the homes listed for sale had a price reduction in the month of June, you know what they're not taking into account? Is all the new construction, because the builders will not list all their inventory on the MLS to be surveyed by a survey such as this that Zillow did. So the reality is that there's actually a lot more than 24.5% with price reductions. Also, price reduction is such a you know, easy metric to talk about. They're just going based on one number, price reduction. But what about the incentives that builders give? What about the contributions towards closing costs that sellers give? What about you know, getting your insurance paid for 2 years when you buy a new home? These are some of the tactics that sellers, but mostly new construction builders, are offering. So the actual price reductions is far more than 24.5%. A lot of those don't get listed in the MLS, and then the sale doesn't get registered properly in these kinds of surveys. The data that's talking to us right now is telling us we are in a major transition that is starting to go downhill. But the data is actually wrong. It's actually worse than what they're reporting. So now ask this to yourself. If you are a seller, what do you have to do? How are you going to sell your house if you're listed? You know, the short answer is you need to make it so worthwhile. You need to lower that price so well that everyone is just going to go jump on it and you're going to sell right away. Because it seems that every single month it only gets worse. That's it. Every month gets worse. And maybe in 6 months, in January, maybe we might have a little bit of relief. But can you wait 6 months? And what if you're a buyer? Can you wait 6 months? I don't know. See, it could flip either way. It could go, the interest rates could go down, interest rates could go up. We actually don't know where it's going to go. But the general prediction right now is that we're going to cut our rates just a little bit in 2024, probably in September and probably in November. But that's going to bring him down to 6.5%, which is not enough to make homes affordable. But then, if depending on who goes into presidency, we might have a large interest rate cut, and that might start stirring up the economy again and make everything feel a little bit better. But all it's going to do is kick the can down the road, the can of price adjustments, the can of crushing the economy in a bad way. I don't mean like crushing it, I mean like it's getting crushed. So what do you think needs to happen? You know, maybe one of you guys, one of you viewers has some ideas that might actually be able to contribute to stabilizing the home prices in such a way where they're affordable again, without making it really cost prohibitive for everybody and without having everybody lose a lot of money. Frankly, I think people need to lose some money. That might be the solution.